Welcome to another episode of Football Tailgaters, where we talk everything about the NFL, including your bets. In today's episode, as usual, I have here with me Yams, the Texan Jets fan, Andy, the unbiased football fan, and me, Aaron, the Cowboys fan. So today we're gonna do what we tried out last time. It was our first time trying it out. We're gonna do a little bit thing, this little thing called News Drill. That's what we're gonna call it, where we're gonna name off a couple of topics that's been happening around, pretty recently, and each of us are gonna get a minute, and with that minute we can do whatever we want. So if we're gonna do like Yams goes first, and then once Andy is next, Andy can use his 1 minute to argue Yams' point, or make a whole completely different point, or just anything along those lines. But we each get a minute for just one topic each, if that makes sense. Anyways, all right, so we'll get to that. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay. Okay, let me get I'm gonna play a little sound effect, and I'm gonna test it out so it doesn't sound that loud for you guys, right? I'm gonna play right now. That's how it's gonna sound like, right? You guys heard that?
Yeah, it's a little annoying, but yeah.
Is it loud though? No, right?
It's not too loud, or is it? Yeah.
It's good. It's perfect. It's perfect loudness.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna try it out. Again, it's a little bit scuffed, but it works. So we're gonna start off with. It's gonna be 6 topics today. We're gonna start off. I'm gonna name some random ones. It's gonna be Yams, Andy, and then me, and then we'll just go around the circle over and over until we run out of the topics. So first off,
now you're gonna let us know when it's like my turn to go, right?
Yeah. So yeah. Once
after Yams is done, then you're gonna let me. Okay, Andy, your turn. Okay, cool.
So Melvin Gordon tells Broncos GM he is not going to lay down. This is how he said it. He's not going to lay down in the running back competition. Yams, what do you think? Go.
Maybe he should go to sleep. Just kidding. My thing is that he was. Oh my god! I just slipped my mind.
Oh no.
He was drafted right after Todd Gurley, and he's not even like the top running back. Not even top 15, maybe not even top 20. So he's slipped pretty bad, in my opinion. This is his chance to be explosive, especially now with the new quarterback, who is Russell Wilson, who will bring up a lot of new, creative ways to the team, a new face, someone that they can trust at the helm. So it'll be good for Melvin Gordon to share now with the better running back on that team, Javonte Williams. So I think now it's his opportunity to actually share some reps and become the explosive, if he was explosive. I don't remember him being that explosive, of a player. Oh, really? That was a...
I felt like...
Wow, that was pretty quick.
Yeah. I felt like you paused a little bit, but that's fine. We're warming up here. It's fine. Okay. And then we're going to have Andy next. All right. So I'm going to say it again. Melvin Gordon tells Broncos GM he is not going to lay down in the running back competition. Go.
Well, I think the Chargers did a magnificent job not giving in for his contract and just letting him go to the Broncos. As you can see, he hasn't been doing so well. He wanted a big contract with the Chargers, and it's just showing like what his play is. So right now he's against Javonte Williams, and if we go into his stats, he had 8 touchdowns last season. Javonte Williams, he was like getting up there and doing some competition, and he had 4 touchdowns. So it'll be interesting of who can actually be the number one starter. I mean, if we can go like what he was good for, being the first running back, and maybe Javonte Williams being like the Eckler type of running back, like he was in Chargers, and for Russell Wilson, maybe that would be good. So they can so Russell Wilson can just toss it over to Javonte Williams and just have the Melvin Gordon as the first runner. So I mean, he needs to prove it. All good luck to him.
Okay, right on time. Right
just
on
on
time.
time.
Right on time. Buzzer beater. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna time myself. All right. So I think Andy made a good point on that. I think in this season the way I see it is they're both good running backs. They're not, just any great running backs. I think they're on I would put them on like a B tier. I think they're gonna be rotated around and they're gonna be used kind of like not so much like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but I think one's definitely gonna have they're gonna be split more because Nick Chubb carries the ball more than Kareem Hunt, and Kareem Hunt deals a lot with the passing game and stuff like that. But it's just gonna be like okay, like yeah, there's running back competition, but I don't think like either of them are gonna be the better one. They're just both equally good, and they're good enough to be rotated around. So that's my thoughts. That was right under a minute.
That was good. But I want to add my touch just before we move on to the next topic.
Sorry, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
It's like that State Farm commercial. You just gotta be quicker next time.
No, I'm just
Try better
kidding.
next
No,
time.
go for it. Go for it.
No, but just to what Andy said. Yeah, hopefully losing the job to Austin Eckler in Los Angeles Chargers ignites some kind of motivation for him to stay consistent.
I agree.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. So next one is Dolphins were ready to offer Sean Payton a $100 million deal. That's crazy. No official offer was made. Yams, what do you think? Go.
I think they also wanted to bring Tom Brady as the quarterback at that time so they could have Tom Brady and Sean Payton together. I guess they didn't pull the trigger because at that time Brian Flores' lawsuit came in, so I guess they just never presented that package. But I would have loved to see Tom Brady go against Belichick twice a year, but I wouldn't have loved to see Tom Brady back again in the AFC East. So I'm glad that Sean Payton is not there.
Nice. All right. Andy, you go.
Well, I just Miami Dolphins as an organization is just kind of dysfunctional. So who knows if they even try to do a meeting correctly, putting Tom Brady and Sean Payton in a room and say, "Hey, we can do this all together and let's win a championship." But who knows? Maybe like Tom Brady or Sean Payton just completely just disregarded them or just put that question down or that invitation down, just took it off. Because I mean, Tom Brady has a good thing going in Tampa, and Sean Payton just maybe just needed some time off, and maybe he has some secrets and in the future that Sean Payton is ready to come back in the NFL in some ways, or already has some discussions with another team for the future.
Jerry Jones?
Maybe. TBD.
All right, and then I'm gonna go. I don't have much to it other than I don't trust the Dolphins front office to be capable of handling I guess you could say pretty really important situations like that. I don't think they would have been anything capable of working out. So I just think it's kind of like I don't think much to it. It wouldn't have worked out. It would I don't think it'll go past anything special. It was just kind of like I feel like it's just a cool thought. It's like, oh, the Dolphins could have been a thing with Tom Brady and Sean Payton. There's just nothing to it. So it's a little bit weird. I really don't have much to that. But yeah. I think the $100 million deal is crazy, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna go for these days. So
yeah,
for sure. Especially for Sean Payton. Probably more next year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, so next one, Terry McLaurin not attending the mandatory minicamp. It's something a little bit that's been kind of reoccurring in the past, couple of years with these big stars just not attending minicamp and stuff like that, either if it's because they want to take care of themselves or contract situations. it's always either or. But anyways, not attending mandatory minicamp as he wants a new contract in this case. Yams, what do you think? Go.
The Washington Commanders have been in such a mess lately. I just hope that the mess that's going on around the team or the outside noise that's coming into the team, and and I mean on a distraction level, because they're a pretty decent team, so I don't want that distraction level to hurt them. But the Commanders are absolutely crazy not to throw their wallet at their most productive offensive weapon to ensure that he stays with the team.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, Andy, what do you think? Go.
Well, it really depends. I mean, I do agree that he's like their star wide receiver, but if we look at his stats, 2019, 7 touchdowns, 2020, 4 touchdowns, 2021, last season, 5 touchdowns. Both the last season, 2021 and 2020, over 1,000 yards, and 2019 just below at 919. But I mean, I don't know what kind of money he's looking for, because he shouldn't be paid top money. Like, I know that I think that's one of the news that's gonna come out. Like Alan Lazard, he had 8 touchdowns with the Green Bay Packers last year. I know the quarterback has a lot to do with it, but I mean, show some. I mean, I don't know if you compare that. I don't know what type of money it's gonna be giving to him. So, I mean, whatever he can get. I mean, I'm all for paying players, but he shouldn't be paid the top amount.
Yeah. All right. Then I'll go. I think that stats aren't always what they seem like. I think that sometimes you just really need to watch the tape. Stats don't always speak everything, in my opinion, in these cases. I think he is definitely a top-tier player, and he could be argued as somewhere near the top 5 wide receivers right now in the NFL. Could be argued. I'm not saying he is.
No, that's awful. That's an awful argument. No, of course not.
Especially for a third round pick.
I think he's definitely underrated.
But Aaron said top 5 wide receiver. Like, I can name a whole bunch of them. Not even debatable.
He didn't say top 5.
He did say top 5 wide receiver.
I said it could arguably be top 5.
So it can't
arguably. I'm not saying argue. it's you're taking up my time.
It's because when you say something crazy like that, I have to like check you, because that is horrible. How are you debatable top 5? Okay.
So give me top 5 right now.
Okay, just out of the top of my head, it's gonna be hard, but I'll give you Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, Evans.
Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans from Tampa Bay. What are you talking about? Okay. Who else? I mean, I can name you. I mean, he's kind of like Mike Williams. He's maybe like Mike Williams type, like Chargers wide receiver type. Maybe a little bit better than Mike Williams.
I don't think so. He hasn't had it.
How about Allen? Who's better, Allen or him? Allen from the Chargers.
They're different players.
No, I'm just saying, but who would you take? Or even you as a Cowboy fan, CeeDee Lamb. Who would you take?
No, it's a different type of player.
We're talking wide receivers here. I know that they don't play in the slot and everything. Well, I mean, okay, then let's just be specific. Then.
If I wanna better, like an overall good wide receiver.
I mean, I think McLaurin is like top 15, not top 5
top
at
15?
all.
15?
Yes.
Top 15?
Yes. Top 15.
You'd have to make a whole list. I want you to like.
That's your homework for next
yeah,
time.
That's your homework.
Yeah, we can talk about it next.
Top 15.
For sure.
Who would you put above him? Top 15. That's insane. He's been argued many times that he's a top 10 wide receiver for sure. Do you not watch the games?
Who has argued with that? Who? And if I just give you the stats for him,
he's up there. He's been talked about. It's without a doubt. People talk about him like he's no joke. He's pretty serious. He's not just some kind of like, okay, good wide receiver. He could be really good, and he is really good. I think you just we need to see him play again so you can remind yourself and see just what he has done. Go watch some highlights from him. That's all I'm gonna say.
The thing with Terry McLaurin is that he does catch the ball a lot. So of course he's very productive.
And he
in
doesn't
that way.
even have a quarterback either, too. He's doing it without a good quarterback. Come on. He did it with Heineke.
Yeah, but
He did it
paying
with
him,
Fitzgerald.
but saying that he's a top 5 to be paid, and arguably, when you're saying arguably, that means that like it's like there's people debating it. I mean, maybe there's some like Washington
Yes, 'cause
Commander
he has
fans
the
out there
potential.
just because they're fans, but unbiasedly, he should not be top 5.
Let me just add. So you mentioned the wide receivers that you just mentioned. Now they have good quarterbacks throwing to them.
Exactly. Who does
Those-
McLaurin have?
Those
And
five
he's
that you
doing it with
mentioned,
that
they're like
good-
amazing quarterbacks.
What about Mike Evans? He didn't have good wide receivers, and he was always put in as top 5. And I mean,
Is
he didn't
Jameis
have good
Winston
quarterbacks.
better-
I'm sorry, good
Is
quarterback.
Jameis Winston better than Heineke?
Yes.
Exactly. There you go. Point.
Is he?
Yes.
Who went to the playoffs? Did Winston ever go to the playoffs? I
Oh,
don't
you can
remember.
say
Yeah.
the same thing about Nick Foles.
No, Nick
He went
Foles
to
was
the-
put in place. The one that took him there was Carson Wentz. It wasn't Nick Foles.
but
Nick Foles has never.
Heineke was put in place. Nick Foles was put in place.
No, wasn't Heineke the quarterback the whole season?
No, someone got injured at the beginning of that season.
I know before the season even started. Fitzpatrick, wasn't
Yeah,
it 2
didn't he
years
get
ago?
injured?
Fitzpatrick did get injured.
Yeah. And
that's
because it was talked about, it's like, oh, Fitzpatrick goes down, and then who's going to be the next up? And it's Heineke.
Yeah.
And everybody's
didn't
like,
they
oh,
go to
what?
the playoffs?
With Heineke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Didn't-
he was
didn't-
put in place.
But
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Look at the division. Let's move on. Look at it's just the division, dude.
Top 15.
Also, Jameson Winston did go to the playoff once. He didn't win, but he did go.
Okay, fine, once. Like I said. But
you
anyways.
can't say, oh, did he go to the playoffs? Because it's the NFC East. Anyone can go to the playoffs in that division.
True.
Not to dog the
Okay.
Cowboys, but I'm
True.
just saying.
Well,
Okay.
then for you, Dak Prescott, is he a good quarterback? Because what about CeeDee Lamb then?
That's all I'm going to say. We got to move on to the next one. We can actually talk about this because it's going to be the next topic that's not in the minute drill or in the news drill, sorry. It'll come up. I want to ask you guys if you guys want to talk about the Packers wide receiver Alan Lazard situation. He signed restricted free agent. You guys want to talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah,
in my
me neither.
opinion.
Me neither.
Give your
I'll
point.
say my point real
Yeah, just
quick.
give your point.
All right.
well,
go for it.
It's been confirmed by recent draft histories that the Green Bay Packers do not like drafting help for Aaron Rodgers in the first round. So, congratulations getting help for Aaron Rodgers.
It's not a help. He's been there.
Well, he re-signed him. They were let go of Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Anyways, he gets the opportunity to step up and, in the passing game last year, he kind of stepped up and, caught 5 touchdowns in the final 5 games. So building chemistry with the quarterback. So he has some big shoes to fill out there with Devontae Adams out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Andy?
It's just. I mean, if you're a Packers fan, what is getting you excited about this season? Like, they're just taking a step back. I haven't seen anything like jump off the page in the offense. I mean, their wide receivers is Alan Lazard, now that he signed again, Christian Watson, Sammy Watkins. And they still have Randall Cobb around there in there. So it's not like exciting. And Alan Lazard, he caught 40 catches, which is not a lot. I mean, it's all right. It's not a lot for 2021, 2020, 33, and 2019, 35. So he's just there, like, just helping out, like, as a, I don't know, second or kind of like in the borderline a third wide receiver. And like I said, he did get 8 touchdowns last season. And then before that, only 3 in 2020, and then 2019, only 3 as well. So, I mean, it just sucks how, and maybe this is why they don't go to the Super Bowl, because they don't get Aaron Rodgers some help. I know he's going to be a Hall of Famer quarterback, but get him some better weapons, if with Devontae Adams they go to the NFC Championship close to like every single year, imagine without him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for Packers fans, but yeah.
Yeah, but going into his third year, I'm pretty sure he'll have a breakout season this year.
Well, because Devontae Adams is not there, so
Exactly.
they're gonna have to spread the
he had his
the ball
spotlight
around.
too when Devontae Adams got
Yeah.
injured. Because it was a big thing that I was like, oh my God, he's throwing to like people that are just coming out of the stands. Like, where do they come from? Where do they sign these people?
Yeah, I expect big numbers from this guy, so it'll be a good fantasy pickup.
It could be. I think it's a gamble. I think it's a 50-50 when it comes to fantasy.
you get them in the late rounds,
Yeah,
probably.
well,
And it could be like a surprise.
It's like
maybe.
it could be a steal. Yes, it
Yeah.
could be a steal.
It could be
I
a
think
steal.
he's bound to put up big numbers this year.
I think what this when it comes to the Packers, what they should be excited about is what they've always been excited about for these past years, because they haven't gotten any offensive help besides getting diamond in the rough with Aaron Jones. It's been all about the defense. They just signed Jared Alexander, and they got super excited for that. That's like their excitement this offseason. It's just a one big signing that they kept a big name in the defensive side, and it's just Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones and the Packers defense. That's all it is. That's all it is to it. And then they got decent tight ends that just kind of rotate around. Same thing with the wide receivers. So,
but you don't think that the running backs do well in the Green Bay Packers because they have Aaron Rodgers, and that just the defense has always have to pull back because of his arm? I mean, look at Javonte Williams.
Yes, for sure.
He went to Detroit and didn't do much. Look at Eddie Lacy. I know that he had some weight problems, but he left and didn't do much either. So, I mean, Aaron Jones, I do agree that he is a really good running back. But, I mean, maybe he'll struggle maybe just a bit. But I don't – you know what? I take it back. I think Aaron Jones is a good running back. They got really lucky getting him.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the game plan that goes around him too. And even with A.J. Dillon, it's just a good rotating duo running back. I think it'd be – I would love to have any kind of situation where Aaron Jones would be with the Cowboys and then have Tony Pollard as the backup as well. I think that'd be ideal.
Ooh, low blow to Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. That I was just gonna say, no offense, but it's just kind of frustrating at this point because I feel like they're a lot more flexible when you're trying to manage those running backs rather than Ezekiel Elliott. I feel like he's just like just running down their throats type of running back, and I don't think that the Cowboys deserve him. I think that they've used his his fresh talent when he first got there. Nobody really knew about his potential, and he was a great running back. But they kind of figured him out, and the Cowboys haven't done anything to help him out, especially with the declining offensive line. It's just been an awful situation for him. So if anything, his workload has been picking up, and he can't carry it because I'm not saying he's a bad running back. I'm just saying he needs some help, But as in all running backs, eventually they all decline pretty rapidly because of their usage, and especially someone like Ezekiel Elliott. It's just it sucks for those kind of running backs really because they're amazing, but you really got to use them well before I guess you can say their peak is over.
Man, we were gonna talk very little, and this just went on and on with them.
No. Okay. So we'll move on. We'll move on to the next one. It's because it seems like we're just coming around the Cowboys because I'm just seeing a lot of Cowboys here on the list. So talking about the Cowboys running back Tony Pollard is being explored as a running back wide receiver threat. We've talked about this in the last episode. I'm very excited for this, but I'm gonna let Yams go first. I'm not excited for her thoughts because she's just gonna trash. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I forfeit. I forfeit my minute. I'm tired of talking about them.
You can forfeit the next one too, and the one after that as well. If you want, you can just go ahead, get some food, sit back, and just listen to Andy and I talk about it.
Look, I guess it's gonna go with the other topic that we're gonna talk about. But it sounds like for me, I don't know what's going on, right? But it sounds like Jerry Jones is coming down on staff and like trying to scramble and trying to like find out last minute, changes to be more creative and try to, make something happen because I feel like they're in desperate mode. They're in desperate mode because it's always Super Bowl and they're Kellen Moore, you need to be more creative. What can we do? Well, we can probably explore Tony Pollard being like Deebo Samuels, like running around, being a wide receiver. But anyways, again, I don't know what goes down there. I just feel like they're kind of in panic mode.
Andy, what do you think?
Oh, well, it seems it's just really frustrating because I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones watches these ESPN or NFL Network shows, and they just get frustrated why Pollard is not being used, and he just comes down and just tells them like, "Hey, like we should be using Pollard more." And I don't know what goes on in the coaching meetings because they didn't use him like at all when they went to that division playoff game, and it was really frustrating that they weren't using him since he's such an explosive player. So like use him, you're not. It's like it's just really frustrating. I don't know what they're doing there. And it seems like McCarthy's just, I don't know, maybe trying to, I'm clueless because maybe he's just trying to just let the fans hear what they want to hear, but it's like fake news. It's just like, because he also said like he wants to use Dak Prescott more in the running game too, like more his mobility.
They're completely lost.
And then Jerry and Steven are just like afraid of Dak getting hurt. So it's just really, I don't know. It's
so
just
what is the truth? Don't get hurt, but run around?
No, it's all up to the coaches and the coaching scheme, right? But who knows because the Joneses are the bosses, so.
I think the Cowboys are learning the hard way not to invest or pay out your top running back because they can see that they're able to do things with their second back on their team.
So that's an interesting point that you bring up. And I think that's exactly what happened, but the reason why they didn't hesitate on Elliott, obviously, is because of what happened with DeMarco Murray. They let a good guy go, but I mean, it paid out at the end because eventually he started declining throughout his years. But when he was with the Dallas Cowboys, he was amazing, and now they felt like they got something possibly even better than DeMarco Murray with this with Ezekiel Elliott. And they were like, we're not letting this go this time, and we're going to take an opportunity of his prime years and sign him early with big money and then let him go.
They got pressured. They got like peer pressure to give him the money. They should have just traded out for him because it's unfortunately, I think the players' bargaining agreement, they should change and do some type of different clause for running backs because they do get the bad end of the stick. Because they use them, that's the ones that they get pulverized more in games, and it just takes a toll on their bodies, and then they just don't pay them, or they just trade them. Look what happened to. There's a lot of running backs that they just move on from. It's sad, but for business wise, they shouldn't have given a contract.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the last one. It's going to be also the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy. This is just very dumb. Mike McCarthy fined $100,000 for having players play physical in practice. Yams, you can go first.
I need to get in contact with the CEO of Football Tailgaters because I don't get paid enough to talk about the Cowboys. But this is the second time that has been fined. I think last year he was fined $50,000 for physical practice. What shocks me the most is, you've been at a job and you've been doing the same thing over and over. You should be tenured and veteran and know not to do these mistakes that you believe rookie coaches to do. So the fact that it happened again this year, and he's been a head coach, excusing that 1 year that he took off to increase his knowledge, but he's been a head coach since 2006. So how do you not keep up with the physical complying rules of, practice? That just shocks me.
What do you think, Andy?
I mean, it just shows how Mike McCarthy it feels like, and it probably is, not the best fit to be the head coach because as Yam said, I mean, if this already happened to you, how does it happen to you again? Like, seriously. It's just mind-blowing. So it's just one of those frustrating things that comes out from Dallas again. Like, it's just continuation, and there's just no end in sight. So maybe the Joneses are just letting him go and making him like dig his own hole so they can get rid of him after this season. But we'll talk about that probably in another time.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring that up. What if it's like some kind of sabotage that they're trying to do? That they realize, oh, Mike McCarthy is not the way to go. I don't have anything to say. I'm just sad. So that's just me. I'm not even gonna use my whole minute. I'm just gonna say I'm sad, and that's it. Yeah, it's just so stupid that stuff like this is just happening. Like that's the news. Not that they got a big signing in the offseason. It's that Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, got fined $100,000 for doing the same mistake he's done before.
You know what? Honestly, I think the Cowboys are on their way down, and I absolutely think that the Jets are on their way up.
We're not talking about the Jets, though.
No, irrelevant. That's what I think.
Sustained.
I think. All right, so that was it for the news drill. Very exciting. A lot of Cowboys. A lot of not 1 minute stuff. So I guess we'll just jump into the last topic. Can you guess who we're gonna be talking about? What team?
Is it America's team?
I don't know. Is it?
I guess that's
Is
the
it at this
topic,
point?
right?
Gosh.
Yeah. Should the Cowboys continue to be named as America's team and continue to be hyped as Super Bowl contenders?
Gosh.
Anyone can go first.
You want
Do
me
I
to go
just
first?
do I have trash first?
If you want to, or I can.
Or
go
do we
first.
talk trash or talk?
It's up to you. Go for it if you want to.
I mean, obviously, you're asking me. I mean, I'm pretty sure both of you know my answer.
We
What's
them
my-
boys. That's it.
What's my answer?
We them boys.
We should move on.
No.
We should move on. But if it were up to me, yeah, I would love to talk about other teams. Obviously, I would talk more about my Jets, but I'll definitely include other teams. I won't be that selfish and just
But that's not the
focus
point
on.
of the question.
I'm answering the question. But can I rant and can I vent a little bit?
Well, this is not a therapy session, but go for it.
So should the Cowboys continue to be named America's team? Isn't that just pure marketing? I mean, I guess I'll answer the second question. Should they continue to be hyped to be a Super Bowl contenders? No, they should not. They should stop. Stop hyping this team. They haven't been good, and they haven't been good for a while.
Micah Parsons, though.
Every year there's Super Bowl bound. There we go. The Cowboys are Super Bowl down, and every year they have fallen short. So I don't know why every year they're bound to be Super Bowl. You know what? It is because it's the NFC East. Very easy. It's very easy to fool the eye in the NFC East that they're a Super Bowl team.
Even though the NFC East has won the Super Bowl like 3 times in the last like 12 years.
I will be very shocked if they prove me wrong this year.
Or not 12, 13 something years, 12, 13, 14 years. 3 times. It's not bad. Twice the Giants. It's actually 15 years. 15 years and they've won 3 times. Twice the Giants and 1 the Eagles. But I can, if you want to, I can tell you why they're listed as America's team and why they continue to be.
Look, America's team, it's fine. It doesn't bother me.
No, it
it's
does
just,
bother
No,
you.
it doesn't. It's fine. Be America's team. I blame the media, obviously, for hyping this America's team. They're always in your face on TV, so that's why they are America's team. I blame marketing. It's all part of business. I can't change history. Okay, I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So, look. this is I'm just telling you how it is, like unbiasedly, how I see all the teams and everything, how I just take a step back and look everything. So the Cowboys became America's team since because of the 70s. In the 70s, the NFL was a really good product on TV. And either you had the Dallas Cowboys or the Pittsburgh Steelers on TV, like wherever you were. Now, because of there's TV has blown up more and more. We have like cable, we have the ESPN and everything. Like every team just has grown more valuable, and each territory doesn't have to show Pittsburgh Steelers or the Cowboys. But back then in the 70s, those two teams were the teams to see. So that's why there's a lot of fans following the Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, and they both had success. I believe the Cowboys went 5 times to the Super Bowl, only won twice though. And I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers won 4 times, I believe. So of course those two teams were it. Now, it was because of a commentator, and I forget his name, of why he named them America's team.
Because they're always in your face. They're always on TV, so they became America's team.
Well, that's because of that commentator that announced it as America's team. They had the cheerleaders. Yeah, they had the cheerleaders. They were in Dallas, like Texas. He just called them America's team, and that stuck around. Even though they weren't that good in the 80s, I mean, they still won some games, but they never went to the Super Bowl. In the 90s, that's when they became the era of the Cowboys again. And they had the triplets with Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and they won 3 Super Bowls. And I mean, it grew and grew. And because of Jerry Jones' business, it is currently right now sitting as the #1 valued team in the world. And this is including soccer. The soccer, which is the world sports. You put in Manchester United and all of these teams, and it's still Dallas Cowboys. It's an American sport. And they're the #1 the top valued team in sports.
That's why I said it's purely business.
Well, yeah.
At this point.
Well, that's what I'm telling you.
At this point, that's why they kept it around.
Maybe not winning wise. I agree with everybody of why they're not I mean, maybe another team should be considered, but it's not going to be a throne of this should be America's team or this should be America's team. I mean, you can make a good case for the Patriots.
It's just a nickname.
But being America's team, fine, be America's team, but stop continuing to hype America's team for Super Bowl contenders, because they're not.
Well, I bet you that ESPN, NFL Network, every time that they talk about the Cowboys, their ratings do go up. There's a reason why they still continue talking about the Cowboys, even they're not that relevant. And it's because people watch and they want to listen to when the Cowboys are talking or they're the topics.
So I still need you to answer the second question.
Which is, should they be considered that continue to be hyped as Super Bowl contenders? Well, business-wise, you're saying, business-wise, yeah, because that's what the people want to hear. Oh my God! Either you love them or you hate them. Look, even what's his name?
So you're telling me this is all fake hype?
Shannon
business-wise, even they're blinded. They're just wanting to get into ratings, and they hype all the fans up on the news, Super Bowl bound. But they're they suck.
That's how they get paid.
That's how they get paid. That's how they get people to watch.
I would talk about them all the time if I got paid like that.
But you're a fan. Let's say even haters. It's because here's the big point here. Even haters of the Cowboys watch the Cowboys to lose, and they're happy when they lose. So even for example, Shannon Sharp. You know that show with Skip Bayless, Undisputed,
right?
Undisputed. So Skip Bayless is a big-time Cowboy fan, and Shannon Sharp...
Which I don't watch because that's all they talk
about. Exactly, right? But I mean, it also... Because maybe Skip Bayless has some movement there. But Shannon Sharp always watches the Cowboys game, even though he doesn't like them at all. And he admits it's because he wants to see them lose and have and just have a troubled season. Also, Stephen A. Smith. He came even as a video for the Cowboys to promote their season, and everybody knows he's the biggest #1 Cowboy hater. But it's just good business. That's why what's America? It's about business. America's team, business.
It's all capitalism. But I just don't think they should continue to overhype this team to be Super Bowl contenders. Take it seriously. Really assess the team. Are they really Super Bowl contenders? Are you telling me they're just talking about it just for ratings and money? So all that stuff is just they're feeding me lies that they're feeding me lies and they're not Super Bowl contenders. It's just money.
I mean, it's not. Made. I mean, at least they do
cash.
They do win.
Some of them also like say just the truth of what they think. I mean, they'll be brought up as a topic,
Super Bowl contender topic.
But it doesn't like, and it's not always like necessarily. It could just be for anything that they do in the news that pops up that's big. They just talk about it, and they end up talking about, you know, if they're even playoff contenders and stuff like that. It's just how it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like losing a lot of games how like Detroit Lions do and the Jacksonville Jaguars do. They make the games exciting. Even you say when you're watching those Cowboy games, Yams, that
how about them Cowboys?
No, in the end, you're just like that. I mean, that's for the. It's a pretty good game. It's a pretty good game.
Well, because my partner is a Cowboy fan, so I have to root for them too. I can't hate on the Cowboys fan while I'm watching. I have to say positive things.
I'm not saying if you root for them or not. I'm just saying they do show pretty good games down to the wire.
Deep down though, deep down, I'm like lose.
I mean, the same thing can be.
I'm sure a lot of people
like the most winning, like the teams that win the most that are used to being up there, like the Patriots and stuff like that. Like it's the same thing, just not as big because the marketing isn't as big for them.
Right. Like and see, look, America's team. If I were like put on my marketing hat and think of teams related more to America, I mean it's Patriots. Patriots. Now the Commanders. Those names kind of sound like a more part of America.
But it doesn't get people excited though. That's
even
the thing.
the
Maybe
Chiefs, since that's how it was, before.
Like really, there's just like not a huge percentage of people going for the Chiefs or the Commanders. Maybe the Patriots.
You can't change it.
No, and I don't want to change it. I just want them to shut up about it.
Shut up. Well, it's not gonna happen because it just brings in money.
I don't care. Call them America's team. That doesn't bother me. I'm just tired of the hype of are they Super Bowl contenders? Like, give it a couple more months. Give it 2 more months, and there goes the Cowboys. Oh, they won their first game. Look how amazing they looked. Oh, are they Super Bowl contenders? Are they going to? I'm like, come on. It was just one game.
Well, imagine how frustrated fans are.
Oh, they lost by one field goal against Tom Brady. Oh, they looked amazing though. Yeah, they're. Like skip. Like I already see this happening. It's just
I think it's just a lot easier because they're more in your face than other teams. I think it's the same talk for any other team. It's just no.
If
it was any other regular team, we're not gonna say like any bad team that's used to be bad.
Well, I mean, also the fans. Also, I mean, I just hear him get all hyped up. I mean, also fans get people like frustrated, like saying, "This is our year. No, this is our year." But I mean, why can't you just get excited for your team? I mean, what, you're just gonna be all depressed? I don't blame them. Like they're just excited to see their team. They're
just loud about it.
They're just loud about it, exactly. And I mean, it is what it is. What is the Texans fans gonna be like? This is our year? Like no.
It's like I get annoyed when Eagles fans say this is our year, and they just put their team higher than it actually is. It's just the same thing. It's just how it works.
And don't be surprised that the Eagles just do better than the Cowboys with Jalen Hurts.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. That whole division in itself is a coin flip.
Now
it's gonna be interesting with that division. I'm excited to see. I really am.
And there you go. And that's why they're going to be having
on
their
the
eyes
TV.
on, and they're going to be talked about.
Obvious.
Yep. Every year they have a Sunday night against the Eagles, Cowboys and Eagles. Every season, every season. It always has to have a Sunday night with the Eagles. Now, I mean, off-topic kind of question for you guys. Is this, even though I know Dak Prescott just got paid, and I myself don't consider him a bad quarterback, and I don't consider him an average quarterback. Is he a little bit in the hot seat if he doesn't show or doesn't like get to that level. Besides the coaching, right? I mean, I think at the end they're just gonna do they're gonna look at the scapegoat, and it's gonna be the coaching more than the quarterback. But in your opinion, should Dak Prescott be a little bit on the hot seat?
I think he definitely should for sure. But I mean, it's Jerry Jones, so it's just gonna be a stubborn situation, just like how it was with Jason Garrett.
Honestly, I don't know if Jerry Jones really is that stubborn with Dak Prescott, because how come he didn't pay him? He paid him right away when it was Tony Romo. Right away. Like, they didn't like even think about it. Now, it's also your opinion of who you think is better, Dak Prescott or Tony Romo, but I don't think he's that just that it's stubborn with Dak Prescott. Maybe his son is Steven Jones, but I mean, it's one of those things that he might be in the hot seat. I don't know what you guys think besides that.
I mean, I don't think he might. I don't think he's on a hot seat this year. Not this year.
He's been in it longer than players who are already on the hot seat, like Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, all those.
Tua. Yeah, I don't think
Tua,
he is in the
yeah.
hot seat. I don't label Dak Prescott on the hot seat. I think they'll stick around with him. It's probably just a coaching change, and he'll be fine. Of course, give him a couple more. I don't know how they're gonna do now with. I think it's Kellen Moore. I don't know. It's just not creative enough. I think that's what's going on there.
I mean, there's
Oh, yeah.
good quarterbacks coming off next year's draft. We have C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis. So,
And you're gonna put him behind that offensive line? I don't think so.
I mean, they're fixing it though. As you can see, they drafted the first round an offensive lineman.
Flag machine.
True, but look at Travis Frederick though. He was thought like, why are you drafting him in the first round when people thought that he can go all the way to the third or maybe fourth round? And look how good he turned out. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully he's not a flag machine, because I just hate seeing penalties. It just stops the game. It's just really frustrating, especially when you see really good plays and then they're just for holding.
They were looking at their piece of paper and like, all right, our starters are one of the most flagged offensive lines in the league. How do we make this better? We get someone who does the same exact thing.
Hey, there was a report that Micah Parsons went against him, the new offensive lineman, and he just pancaked him, supposedly.
We'll see about that.
I mean, it should excite you as a Cowboys fan if that's true.
And a practice, it has to happen in the real game. Try to pancake someone like Joey Bosa. Try to pancake someone like, coming up, Aiden Hutchinson. All those big coming, they're just like, they're going to be monsters on the line.
We'll see.
He's going to have some tough challenges.
This is one of the reasons why people should watch, if they're really interested in their teams, the preseason, because he's probably going to be placed in there for some plays. And on the other side, in the defensive side, for whoever they're playing against, they're going to be playing their butts off because they want to make the team or the practice squad. Usually it's the practice squad. So that shows you, like, they're going to play their heart out every time against them. So that'll show you if he's a good one or not in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't think it's a definitive answer, though. I think it's just, it could be a hint, because, I mean, you can say the same thing about, like, training and just seeing, like, these drills that they do with pads, without pads, all that kind of stuff. You just have to see it on the field.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see.
But yeah, anything else? You guys have any other thoughts?
No, let's just stop talking about the Cowboys for
I'm
today.
excited. I'm excited to
Cowboys.
see them struggle. I am.
Me too. I'm used to it.
Really?
They always struggle. So I don't know what you're excited about.
They always get in the playoffs. I mean,
always-
it's the
it's
big
always the
time
same
disappointment
thing.
for y'all, but they're always
always the
there.
same.
They're always up there. They're always like 10 wins, 12 wins, 11 wins.
Unless the star gets injured like Dak Prescott. Then.
Yeah, Dak. That was probably the only bad year that he's had.
No, and then when Tony Romo went down.
No, but Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
He's always had like.
Well, when Ezekiel Elliott went down, he had a really hard time. A really hard time.
He needs a running back for sure.
What was the record when he went down?
Who?
Zeke.
I think it was more so the stats on Dak himself that reflected.
When did he start playing? Was it in 2018?
No, like 2016. He's been there for like 6. It's gonna be.
He's been there that long already.
Yeah.
Okay, so 13-3 under Jason Garrett, 2016.
Right.
9-7. That's 2017. 2018, 10-6. 2019, 8-8. I don't know which year he got injured.
Probably the second year.
2020 he got injured?
No, the second year, 2017.
No, he got
When they
injured.
went 9-6.
Got injured under Mike McCarthy, didn't he? When he broke his leg and
No, he got injured again.
Okay, well, 2020, 6-10. I think that's the year he was injured. That's Mike McCarthy's first time as a head coach.
That was Dak Prescott that went down.
Dak Prescott. Oh, Zeke has been injured twice.
He's been kind of injured, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly, they're saying in training in their mini camps that he looks really healthy, but they always say that about players.
So then 2019 is probably when he got injured because that's when they went 8-8 and they went second in the NFC East. So yeah, I mean Dak Prescott. I mean, look at the numbers. I just read them off to you. They're high. They're high wins.
No, but to your point, he plays in the NFC East too.
Yeah, but you brought up a point that the NFC East had all these championships and I don't know what and blah blah blah.
No, I'm just saying that you said that they're really horrible.
They are.
But and the
It's not that they're horrible. They're just all on equal kind of strengths.
in a way, yeah. That's why when they went into the playoffs, people kind of like knew like that the Cowboys are not gonna be able to like have a playoff run because they're not beating really good teams.
They're not being challenged enough.
No, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Cool. All right. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of Football Tailgaters. Appreciate you guys listening. And then when we're gonna do it, so it's gonna be, how are we gonna be scheduling it again? Once the season starts, do you know?
No, we're because we have to really put in like the bet analysis when the season gets on, so we can put our picks for it, and also some recommendations. That's something we
haven't been talking about.
Yeah, we need some recommendations for fantasy as well. Fantasy's around the corner, so we might be able to like start doing maybe some mock drafts here and there, show our thoughts about which wide receivers should be the top ones, quarterbacks, running backs, so on and so forth. We can even say the defense and the kickers, which doesn't excite a lot of people, but just in case.
For sure. All right, and then our socials it's football_tailgaters for Instagram and TikTok, right?
Correct.
And YouTube.
Awesome. And then we also have a YouTube channel as well. You can look it up as well. We'll have it's like a 49ers type of color. It'll have our name and the little like logo as well of a football. So you can look us up there. But thank you so much for listening, guys, and until next time.
Bye, guys.